of this land and where we are without colonial borders as reference points. And we do this specifically as a part of this project and this game because we are talking about the natural gas industry, which couldn't exist without the legacy of white supremacy in this country. We have many, many, many indigenous and black and brown leaders and warriors and victors to thank when we are thinking about what environmentalism looks like in this moment and in this time. Black and brown leadership here in this moment, in this country, within any form of like healing or justice is how it works. This is Waterways. This is an illustrated series that look at the natural gas industry and water and how those two things affect policy and resistance and larger systems and visions for a future. We are from the Delaware watershed in an area commonly known as Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It's Lenape land. My name is Bree. I'm an illustrator and a witch and a plant grower, and I live in New Jersey, and I love growing food and eating food, and I love making art, and I love it when making art feels like it's a spell, and when it feels like a game, and when it feels like it's part of a larger fight that can't happen without culture breathing with it and for it.
I'm Mud. I'm helping Bree and Meg, who's not here, out with illustration, and I'm a body witch. I'm really interested in the information that comes from our bodies.
Where do you live, Mud?
I live in Delaware. I live right on the edge of the Delaware River, and I hang that mud daily, at least, like getting down at the riverside.
So, Waterways does all sorts of presentations. We talk about fracking with like 3rd graders and 6th graders, and it's, you know, that conversation is going to look a lot different than the conversation that we're going to have today. We work with, you know, we talk with college students and doctors and kiddos and all sorts of people. And I'm really excited to be with fellow plant and mushroom nerds today. If you're excited about this and you want to like do this somewhere else with a different context and a different place, just hit me up afterwards. Today, does everyone have an envelope? Has everyone been given an envelope?
Yes.
Cool. Also, I want to introduce Annie. Annie's going to be helping in all the ways too. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Annie. I'm also a resident and food grower and earth worshiper of the Delaware River watershed, and excited to do this right by our flowing water right here.
So today we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game that's both make-believe and also super real. We are all residents of Rivertown. Rivertown is so on the border of Pennsylvania and New York, residents hardly know what state we're in. Who knows? We are having a town hall meeting. So we are all residents of Riverton. There's a pipeline that's being proposed to run through our town, and we are gathering today to discuss it. You have all been given an envelope which has your temporary identity. This is the person that you are going to embody. This is the person that you're going to person that you are going to be communicating as. They really run the show. So we're gonna play the game, and then afterwards we are going to do like a talk. We're gonna kind of have like a skill share then afterwards, because I know that there's a lot of knowledge in here, in this room collectively, in this room, and we're gonna talk and just have a moment to fill people in on current local struggles, victories, challenges, campaigns that are happening around water. Does anyone have any questions about that?
So we're about to play this game, and we're going to be embodying the characters in your envelopes. So to bookend this town hall experience, I want to take a second to just like go from the cerebral place that we've kind of been functioning in a lot of these workshops to bring our center down to a little bit lower out of our heads. So in order to prepare to embody the actual fabric of someone else's story, someone else's opinions, someone else's values, maybe something you really believe in, maybe something you are completely in opposition of. Before we put that story on our bodies, on our fabric, we're going to just take a second to notice how our fabric and our bodies are right now. So let's take like 3 deep breaths time just to like check in and see what the temperature is, the tension, the vibration, whatever. So, in order to pay attention to our fabric, we're first going to take a second and notice our plane of height, also known as a plane of dignity. How tall do you feel right now? How high is your head? How much do you feel able to resist the force of gravity that is trying to pull you down? And also take a second to notice that plane of height and dignity of the creatures around you, the people we're about to play this game with. The height of tall creatures and tiny itty bitty creatures. Then we're going to look at feel, smell, sense our plane of width. How wide do we feel? How much space are we taking up? This is also known as a plane of emotionality. How much are we connecting with the people, the creatures, the air, the sounds? The big zoom out and closest with to you. And finally, we're going to take a second to notice the plane of depth. So this plane is considered kind of like the spiral of time. What is behind you? What brought you here to this moment? Who was here before in the past of this very place? Who were your ancestors and what land fed them? How are you bringing them here right now? And the depth that we also have in front of us. in our future and the infinite possibility and potential that is also ahead of us. So we're about to start town hall, and it might be uncomfortable in your body, it might be itchy, it might like kind of, who knows what reaction your body might feel putting on this other creature's being. So deeply empathizing can be painful and difficult, and also can be a lot of other things. So when we finish up town hall, there'll be a chance to just share what you noticed your body tell you as you were Fog Turtle or any of the characters that are on these envelopes. So valuing that information that is coming not just from our analysis and our brains.
Alright. I no longer Bree. My name is Mayor. Sam Mayer. And I want to thank all of you, residents of Rivertown, for joining us today. We have a very exciting and admittedly contentious opportunity on the table. As you all know, there is a pipeline that is being proposed to be running through our town. I recognize a lot of you. I'm sure a lot of you recognize one another. Before we get started,
Band tracking now.
hello Justin. We are just gonna get, we're gonna give our guest, Big Gasco rep, welcome.
Hi. Everybody.
We're gonna give them a chance to settle in, so I want everyone to stand up, introduce yourselves to each other in character, and yeah, if you don't know someone, share with them your story, tell them why you're here, and we'll get started soon. Thank you.
I'm Beth. Robin. I'm from here. Robin. I do. I was approached about it. Yeah. I mean, that's not my career. It's just me and my job. But yeah, they offered me some money. So it's temporary. I live down in Marcus. It's just Delaware. Get money. And like the next one's gonna shut down. Yeah, like my kids, so they can live, they get their medical bills. The construction workers. Why I was thinking, I can have high rates if we get more illnesses. How do we know that? There's the 3 minutes. Came and told me.
Hi, I'm Edith.
I'm Grandma Dandelion.
Nice to meet you, Grandma Dandelion.
Nice to meet you. Gotta figure out how to stop this mess, huh?
Yeah, I know, I don't like it at all. My son goes to the elementary school. The pipeline ever blew, they would have to be out.
Stop these things, you know, as young and I'll do whatever it takes. Be available. I might look older. I'm Julie. I just, you know, what about part of my
Well, the technology is always advancing, you know, we're putting making sure it's very good. Things don't happen.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. What is your name again? Graham again. Yeah.
Alright, everyone take a seat. We're going to get started. And as you all know, this is not a meeting in which we are not voting today. This is a public forum.
Ban fracking now.
We are going to hear from everyone who wants to speak, and George is going to... Do you want to introduce yourself, George?
Yeah, I'm George. I'm with Big Gas Company. I've been there about 2.5 months. I'm sorry our executive couldn't be here today, but I want to ensure you that all of your comments will be heard.
Great. Thank you, George. And, you know, as your loving and trustable mayor, I also want to assure you that, you know, our government is not, you know, we are also in a information gathering process right now. So we really want to hear from everyone. You know, I can open up the table, I can open up the floor, as they say, and who would like to lead us off?
Ban fracking now.
Is there anything else you would like to say, Justin?
Ban fracking now.
Anyone else?
How bad can fracking really be long term for one's health? Is it really as bad as they say it is?
It's a great question. Mary.
Why will you guys not give me any information?
That was a great question.
That's because of the benzene they have to pump in the ground. They don't want you to know about that.
Ban fracking now.
Bud, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
I'm Bud Lorax, Esquire. I'm here trying to raise money today to formulate a case against these guys and get them out of town once and for all.
Yeah.
We found a handful of this genus of mushroom down in the wetlands, and it has a secondary metabolite in it that has been used for several drugs that have amazing healing properties. And if we can just get these scientists in there to find a few more mushrooms of this genus, then I think that'll be enough information to prove this wetland needs to be protected.
Wow,
Yeah.
thank you, Bud. Wow. I didn't know you were also a budding mycologist. Who else is here this evening?
My name is Beatrice Pyle-Gedham. I'm from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and I've actually been researching these folks at Big Gas for several years. And I feel it's my responsibility to inform you all that they have had a history of negligent practices. In the first year of many of their pipeline operations, there have been major spills. They've had barrels of gasoline dumped in rivers, and I actually know George Beer quite well.
I mean, feel free to look at the environmental impact statement. This proposed pipeline will not have those situations occur. Easy words to say.
How
New
many spills
face,
have you
same
had?
sentences.
You can find out on our website.
Why don't you know?
I've only been in Big Gas for about 2.5 months, so I know that if you email the depot email, they'll definitely get back to you.
Okay, I'm Edith, by the way, but the pipeline is going right next to my son's school. And if this thing leaks, I can't. If you're not accountable to these people here, how can I expect you to be accountable to me?
I'm sorry, Edith, I couldn't hear you. Can you explain what the situation is?
My son's school is about 2 minutes away from where the pipeline is proposed. And so if it was ever spilled, or if there was ever a spill or any kind of event, my child and all of the other school children would be killed or, harmed by the toxic chemicals within a few minutes.
Well, I'm sure that there would be an evacuation route of some kind
Absolutely.
planned. Is that right, George?
Yeah, we have those already planned out.
Okay.
My name is Beth Hart. My little girl Morgan,
she attends school about 300 feet from the proposed pipeline. She's been in a car accident and she can't walk. And a local environmental group came by to speak to us about the impact that this pipeline might have. And oh my goodness, they would only have 3 minutes, those little kids, to run as fast as they can if the pipeline ever bursts. And my girl, she can't run. She don't have legs to run. So, yeah, there's going to be some big repercussions if anything ever happens like that. Yeah, I think there's quite a few parents here, right? Yeah.
Edith is here for sure, and Mary, and
I'm a parent, and I need to feed my family, and we were coal miners for generations until the mines closed down, and I finally got a job and was able to pay off my house, and my name's Ash Borer. Sorry, I thought the rest of my coworkers were going to come today, but they kind of left me hanging. But I work for, we actually are, there's a little construction already going on in the route. But
we're next town over, right, Ash?
Right. So it would be a shorter commute once it reaches this area. And, we were hoping that our state would get these good boosts for solar and to transfer our job skills that way, but you gotta get the jobs that are available. And,
I bet there'll be a lot of jobs after the elementary school burns down and rebuilding it.
And I lose my job once you build it through my barn. I lose my farm.
Well, Miss Lyon, it's always an honor to have you here.
Yeah, it's been a long fight against companies like this, and we've sat in trees before and we'll do it again. And I just wonder how the media will react when they see, Hart's child not making it in that 3 minutes, or, this elementary school burned down to the ground, in a catastrophe that could have been prevented. How much is your, those pieces of equipment worth anyway? How many of those can you lose before this whole thing really goes under?
3 minutes is an awfully short amount of time for a school to evacuate. We have Alright. Mary, I would love for you to introduce yourself to everyone.
So my name is Mary Moll, and I live on a 50-acre property where I farm, and the pipeline is supposed to take up 10 of those acres. And I would have to rearrange all of my farming, and all of my livelihood and values are tied up into that land. And that would be a significant detriment to my time and my ability to produce my own living. And I'm worried, and you guys have not written back to me about any of my concerns. And you just promised to be good neighbors, but you have a history of not following through with what you said in the past. I'm worried.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm Dr. Xander Twombly. I'm a general practitioner at PA, and I've begun to see patterns of dysfunction absorbing higher rates around drill pads with cracking. 7 times the amount of fatalities in construction workers, high asthma rates in surrounding areas, and small burn rates. And it's concerning me, and I'm interested in teaming with other people to pursue this research.
Well, you have a room full of concerned citizens and neighbors, so definitely exchange information with people afterwards. Yeah. I also want to remind people that, like I said, we're not making any decisions today. This is just a public forum for everyone to discuss with each other what we might have on the table. We'll probably have a public forum open for a little bit longer, so I would like to hear from anyone, really. You all have such interesting stories, and Harris, it's always nice to see you.
Pleasure to see you too, Mayor. Hello, everyone. Appreciate all of your concerns. And if you don't know me, I'm I'm Harriet Yesman. I'm the Community Relations Manager for Big Gastro. Been working with them for quite some time, and I'm the person that y'all can come to with your concerns and talk to me, and really trying to be here to make y'all feel comfortable with this project and just tell you about all the benefits that will come to your community. We really we want to provide a lot of jobs, like what Ash was saying. We want to help bolster the economy here. We see a lot of potential, and I hear everyone's concerns about health and pipes bursting and whatnot, and I just want to assure everyone that technology is advanced. It's continuing to advance all the time, and we're getting much better at our containment systems and evacuation routes, and I want to assure you that nothing like that would happen in your town like this.
I just don't think there's any amount of makeup you could put on a pig's butt to get me to kiss it.
No, I appreciate your concern and your analogy, but I assure you, this will be a very beneficial thing for the whole town and everyone involved.
Funny.
I was wondering, I was trying to reach you because we actually don't have insurance over there on the job site. We didn't realize we were signing up for a private contractor scenario where we're fully liable for our own bodies doing this work. So it's a little bit catch-22 in this job.
Yes, I know. We're getting things worked out with upper management. Within the next day or two, we should have all that worked out.
We talk about advanced technology, but there's a lot of risks here. Health effects, concerns about going through private land, even location towards a school. Why even have these setbacks when you can just not even waste time on energy such as methane? We just focus on solar. That's clean, it'll create jobs, far less hazardous risk for the environment and workers as well. And it's a limitless source of energy. Look up in the sky, giant ball of fire that's been burn for another 500 million years.
These are good points to bring up. I think there's still a lot of advancements that need to happen with solar for it to really be feasible, and natural gas is, that's something we can access right now.
Yeah, access right now, but what's happening to our bedrock? What's happening to our ecosystem? What's
happening to our water?
My
land is ruined.
The fish hatchery is closed. They've lost jobs there too.
I'm not a biologist or
Flames spewing out of my sink faucet.
Oh well, I don't know necessarily about that. I haven't seen any first-hand information about that.
All my water, all the water on my property is completely contaminated from that junk, whatever's done.
What we do know about why this is allowed to continue is because it is always generally people of a lower socioeconomic class, people of color, who are always the ones who are going to be the ones who are receiving the butt of this situation. Hello, my name's Dawn. I live down south of Philadelphia in Marcus Hook. So the pipeline is proposed, it would end in Marcus Hook where my community is. So I would like to say that I love to see all of you out here in your community supporting, and I came up because we can talk about this as a larger happening. This is proposed to go through your town too, and it's come from somewhere and it's going somewhere else. And together, I think that we have a much, if we're talking to each other, there's a much better chance of all of us being in communication with one another and knowing what is good and what is not good. And I think we're mostly in agreement here that this is not a good proposal.
And feel free to just go through the community liaison because they're totally happy to connect with us.
We're mostly in agreement, but you said that you would give me $15,000 to go through my land, but I'm going to need more than $15,000. My family needs medical care and we don't have any, and I feel sorry for some oil spilling or something or whatever, but my kid needs medical equipment, and I feel like I'm stuck here. If I don't do this, will my son die?
If I may interrupt you, my name is Miss Maggie Henry,
Hey, Maggie.
and they've ruined my property and my watershed. And they offered me $15,000. I took it like a jackass.
So I should take.
So what I would
I've got a lot of
do
land.
is,
Just give a little bit.
well, I would, if it was in my favor, as it would have been, as you have it in your favor, to ask for a hell of a lot more, or just say no.
Well, then how much more are you going to give
If
me
you're
for
willing
my
to have
3
your
acres?
water on all your land, to just be able to have sinkholes and all that, it's, by all means, take the
I want
money.
my son to live. He's got a heart condition.
We're definitely interested in coaching. So come see me after.
Yes, come talk to us, and we'll see what we can do as far as compensating you for your land, and that's a lot of it will be long term. As we begin, potentially through this project, the economy in this area will just increase, and I think that'll help everyone in the long run.
I actually have an investor friend that's looking for some land in your area. If you'd be willing to part with 3 acres, you'd probably raise enough money to take these guys on in court and not have to worry about them ever again.
I mean, that sounds pretty interesting to me as well. I just care about.
I'll donate my
this
property. I mean, for whatever it's
boy of
worth.
mine.
I know it ain't worth a shit now,
That sounds pretty good. The more, the stronger the case we have, the more solid evidence we can bring up against
I'll see you
these
after
guys.
the town meeting.
Awesome.
There's some other folks in the room that we haven't heard from yet.
Well, I'm sorry to be late, folks. I'm Butch Elm, and I work at the coal mining plant. My family's been in this coal mine for a long time, and I've really been struggling to make ends meet. But I came here today to say these environmentalists are pretty whack. And if this goes through, then I'll have money, and my brothers will have money, and I need to build some pressure stations along with the pipelines.
Play of the month over here. Put John.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, we both have tree names in our names. But I think those trees don't be around. I'm going to keep that meeting. Sorry, I was late.
I'm just surprised by you all. There's no amount of money that anybody here should accept in order to see our land destroyed and our children dying of illnesses, our elementary schools going up in flames. These people are sacrificing us for the dollars.
You
see
my
that?
family in poverty.
So why not offer jobs that you can work that avoid all this happening? Invest in solar. How hard is it to build a pipeline assembly? It can't be too much more complicated than installing a plant panel or doing electrical wiring on top of residential houses. Heck, I'm sure a whole number of people would love to have solar.
They promised us jobs to remediate too. We're supposed to be like putting the soil right back where it was, and moving this water back and forth. I think it's gonna last a while.
What are the risks of putting back this soil? Is it going to be contaminated or flammable? Oil or flammable? Is it going to leave sinkholes? No one's giving me the risk. I came here for the risk.
The scientists tell me it doesn't have this in it anymore either.
Where is the emergency planning?
Well, this is just, like I said, this is all just information gathering. Hello, thank you for joining us.
Hi, I think I know all of you.
You might need to introduce yourself though, because not everyone knows you, maybe, as well as they ought to.
Yeah, I think they don't, but they do. Now I'm known as the Delaware, and for much longer I've been known as Lenape-Akan, which means the river of the people. And I remember you, Butch, swimming in the river when you were a kid.
When I was a little naked boy.
I remember. And Paris Yasmin. Oh yeah. I remember your days in the river. And I know you had kids recently. Do you think you want them to swim in the river? Would you let them swim in the river? Now, these days?
Well, there's lots of stuff, going on, and I would probably, want to see some of those
Doctor, what do you think?
reports.
Should the kids swim in the river?
Definitely not. I've seen bloated dog puppies in the river.
Dr. Twombly.
Mayor, do you remember swimming in the river?
Of course. Of course I do. Well, it's a good thing we have the new water park in the next town, I guess.
Chlorinated water, yeah.
It's fun. There's lots of slides.
Yeah, we could divert that water.
I would like to hear from Bog Turtle.
Oh man, I got like rings around my eyes, guys. I'm the little turtle. I'm sure you've seen me in this picture coming up onto the land over here. Yeah, like I don't know what you guys are talking about. Your land, your river. This is my river. It's my house right there. It's talking to my house right now. Like this is me. You guys are just destroying the place that I'm living as well, and I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing about it. Yeah, I would leave this water clean and not do the pipeline, or else all your kids are gonna suffer. And I'm just so connected to the river and the land that I just can't even conceptualize as a turtle. A little one at that. I just can't get it through my head why you would want your kids to suffer.
Yeah, and George, Harris, Ash, and Butch, everyone else who is into this idea, I want you all to know that I've seen time. And I've seen what happens now, and I've seen the repercussions of it. You all are thinking about this moment and these dollars, but what would you say to me when 80 years from now, when I know that you know this pipeline is gonna break? What would you say to me?
Well, at least I got a roof over my head. Right now I can't even pay the bills to get the roof fixed. Lost my work.
Is that the only way that can happen?
Just, I can see.
Somebody shows us another one.
Yeah, somebody use.
Y'all say you got ideas, but I don't see that you're hiring yet, so.
Then there will be jobs. Then we'll install these, we have to hire people to do that. Think about it in general, it's all installation issue. One installation is harmless, energy efficient, power generated from the sun. The other one you have to plow through people's lands, you have to contamination runoff between gas concepts. Why even dance with the devil if you know you're going to sell your soul? Principally just stick with solar. And there will be jobs for you if there's demand. I'm sure you have people in your community are very interested in this as well. Heck, I'd be the first to hire you guys if you decide to leave.
Well, maybe that makes sense. Because my family's been in coal as long as my family's been around.
It's not too different of a job, and it's even probably better for you. You don't have to go down into a mine. You don't have to worry about routing water, blasting, or any capacity as well. You're installing prefabricated panels.
And the sun won't run out of hydrogen for 5 billion years.
Mayor, I think it's about. Is there any last thoughts that anyone wants to contribute before we wrap up this public forum?
Ban fracking now.
Damn, fracking now. I want answers.
We need to organize. When do we get to vote against
money?
Do we really have a choice? In this? I'm asking that person right there. Do we have a choice?
That's a great question.
Listen to that.
The next town over, I mean, you all know, they tried to stop it, but I just don't know they were able to, They had a public meeting and they didn't have Grandma Dandelion to be teaching tree sits or anything like that, but.
Well, Mayor, what are you doing about this?
I follow I'm just a servant. I'm a public servant.
Can we just not take their money? Stop selling them the land.
Why does it have to go through a playground?
These are all great questions. Any other last
Who's
words?
gonna buy the $80 barrel of fracked oil when there are foreign oil owners that will sell their billions of barrels for $3 a barrel?
How can we ensure jobs even if we don't put the pipeline through?
Well, it seems like we ought to have another meeting soon, and thank you for having me. Yes, thank you for being here, George. you know, I think I heard Justin say something. You want to?
Bam fracking now.
You said something else though. It was a good.
Well, we really need to organize ourselves. Even if, you know, whatever their decision is, there's a lot of us who know that the outcome of this, there's no clean fracking, and there's things that we need to do. We need to be really, really organized and not let this happen. We as a people are greater than our state, and this is our territory. Well, it's not our territory. This is a collective. We all live here, and our families here, and
Alright, Justin. Well, Bud, Justin, seems like you all have a lot to talk about, and thank you all for coming to this meeting, and you know, don't forget to you know, get in touch with George if you have any concerns. Feel free to call our hotline.
And you know, you can always talk to me. I try and make myself accessible at any time.
I think I might go like visit the river again. Maybe see how that river's been doing. Yeah, so meeting adjourned.
Good. So we're on the other side of that, and yeah, awesome acting from this crowd. So take a second just to notice how your body feels right now, and maybe review any times during that experience that you felt things in your body that called your attention, struck a chord. So let's just take like 3 deep breaths to just go back to our fabric and not some other fabric that you might not want, and check in. So I'd like to invite a quick kind of popcorn share out of just a phrase of when, not so much like what or how, but when your body gave you some information, what was happening in your surroundings. So for example, I felt kind of like tension in my shoulders and like my fingers twitch when Mama Dandelion over here was like staring at me. Smile, 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 can't get it out. To open that up.
Yeah, I felt a lot of tension in like my body and also like my heart rate like increasing, just like when like hearing everyone's like concerns and everyone kind of like shouting out and just like playing this character, and like I don't feel like I have all the answers to all this, you know, and my job is just like smooth everything over.
My jaw felt really stiff. Compose yourself back.
Felt like a lightness when I was talking about like just social things like characters for most people. But like the part where you like had to pitch the sail a bit, like talking about the capitalist part of it, and that part was a little bit of a sink. It wasn't any kind of big forceful part of the argument until the combination. I sold it, you know, it's like that.
I felt sadness and angst even when we were standing up and introducing, that my character, whereas I personally felt sympathy for future like schools and said these are all the bad things, like my character had to not care about other people because they had to care about their son only. And so there's like a sadness within that situation of like, I feel sympathy for your school, but that didn't happen yet, and my son currently has an illness. So it's just kind of, there's like a sadness for people in that situation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, literally, little girl has the least control over anything, so I was just like, whatever. Which is so funny, because the circumstances surrounding my life has, like, made me kind of, like, recently, really, in my life, I've been like, alright, gotta, like, go through a bunch of crap and, like, throw my hands up because there's nothing I can do. Like, basically, this character is, like Yeah, like I can't do literally anything. Just change my mind at all. Like River has more of a chance. He's more encompassing. I'm just a little. Literally, my eyes look like they're like bloodshot, or like I'm having a freaking hard time on this card. I'm staring up nice, guys, and that's kind of why it's funny. It's very parallel to my like current like the whole summer basically.
Do you feel it in your eyes as well?
You know what? I didn't, but I am tired, so like already embodied the turtle.
I had fun being butch. I already am kind of a little butch, you know, like that. But it's like my section is these little pups with hard hats over here, and they like seem like so soft and like dumb in a way. Like dogs are alive, but like also like wishy-washy a little bit, or like would be led to a different outcome, and I feel like they're not the ones who are making the decisions. They're not like evil. They're just like doing what they need to do. So I guess in my body, I did feel like I had less agency or something. Like I was controlled, kind of like what you were saying. Like I was controlled by something about myself, like a dog, rather than like my own impetus or my own like connection to the river. But that like I could change. You know, I felt like, oh, if there's a job, something I have to do too. I don't have to like seriously defend the role.
I was feeling like this like tightness like behind and in between my eyes every time one person's survival started getting pitted against another. Like every time I just wanted to be like, it's capitalism! And I was like, no, you're the mayor. Yeah.
I noticed the moment when there was sort of a pretty like happening back and forth, like literally from one side to another, with like 6 different voices chiming in, and I was like sort of preparing myself to like speak as the river, which was like difficult to summon, but I felt a sort of like the plane of my height like rising, like sort of above this like everyone's individual pettiness and self-interest, which I feel like I've been very like in like recently, just sort of like having opinions and like, you know, having opinions to assert or to listen to, and I was like all of a sudden like focused and patient and up out of it.
I felt educational responsibility, kind of like I do in life anyway, trying to get people to appreciate and notice the mundane or small things or minutiae in life. And I felt like my character, even though he's making a living just like the rest of the citizens, maybe had a little bit more sense of entitlement because he's like making a beaver dam and it's like changing the ecology. It's like, you know, it creates new niches, but like he's changing it all for his own benefit. It's like a lawyer with a really big yard and like puts a lot of chemicals on the grass or whatever, you know.
And you brought like a sensory item to town hall. Like, did you feel that kind of like privileged?
That's what I had with me, so I was like, this is my torch. This is what I'm taking into the cave. This is what I know anyway. So.
Thank you all for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. We there's a lot of knowledge here, and I just want to open up the floor for anyone who can share any information about like campaigns that they are currently working on or that they know of that are happening in this region or from where they're from about either like, you know, it could be like fracking, but it could also be like any form of resource extraction or any sort of like water threats. Yeah, and it's for like anyone to just like avenues to plug in.
I'm Phil. I'm one of the resident farmers here. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. And right about 3 miles from here, they're building an 1,100 megawatt frac gas power plant called Cricket Valley that we're looking for help to stop. There may be a residential opportunity near on this land for someone who, or more than one individual who would like to join us in that fight.
Is there more that you can share with folks about what the power plant is and what it's threatening?
Yeah, the power plant is going to, well, first of all, it's being built right next to the Great Swamp, which is a protected area. It's across the road from this town's middle school and high school. It's about 2 miles from the nearest elementary school.
What's the town?
This is the town of Dover. The fuel for this power plant is going to come from a mixture of places, including frac gas from Pennsylvania, ultimately. There's a pipeline that's under construction, compressor stations that they're fighting way out in Chemung County, New York, just right on the Pennsylvania border. There's a group called Mothers Out Front that has a regional organizer who's based out of that part of New York, and we've been working with her. There, y'all may have met or will have a chance to meet Donna Cohen, who, among other participation, will be leading the Women's Lodge, or the Closing Lodge. I'm sorry, I forget what it's called. But she lives on the other side of this county, which is Dutchess, and they're building the transmission lines like right through her neighborhood, so she can give more information about fighting it on that front. There's this progressive coalition based in the western part of the county that has some members who are sort of leading the very vocal and prominent activism, like they've started to protest outside the power plant. So if anyone wants to be involved in that sort of thing, I can get you in touch with those people.
What's the name?
There's a group called Stop Cricket Valley and the Cricket Valley Warriors. That's the best way to look that up.
Is it also the Dutchess County Progressive Action Alliance?
It is, but I've heard that there's some trouble in the group, and so I wouldn't go through the group at this point. Better to go through the Cricket Valley Warriors themselves. There's a lot more I could tell, but I mean, if anybody has any questions, I can answer them now or later.
Does anyone want to add anything?
And forgive me, I've walked in late, but just more on Cricket Valley. It's